Welcome to a postseason edition of Battle Axe. This is the moment we've been waiting all season for. After 7 weeks of competition, it's time to crown a Battle Axe champion. As always, I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford, and we're coming to you from the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. We call it the Thunderdome, and this is the place where we will crown a Battle Axe champion. If you've never watched the program, let's go over the rules. All of those rings are worth 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points. The bullseye is worth 6 points. The small blue dot is worth 8 points. They call it the kill shot. At any point during a match, a player can go for a kill shot. If they hit it, they get 8 points. If they miss, they get nothing, and they can get 2 kill shots in a match. It's going to be a big part of this postseason, Bobby.
Oh, absolutely. We've already seen some competitors throughout this league go for that kill shot and be really aggressive with it. I'm sure some matches are going to be decided by that, Joey. But if they survive the gauntlet, they get to take home this lovely World Axe Throwing League Championship belt, currently held by Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, Joey. But we have some breaking news. Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw has hurt his throwing wrist and will not be able to perform tonight in this double elimination tournament. So it's going home with someone new.
A devastating injury to the Magic Man, and all of a sudden the field is wide open for all of these competitors to go get that championship. Beth Jen is the number 1 seed. Eric the Scope Shizzle, the number 2 seed. They'll both have buys. Zach Hinkle, a number 3 seed. Bob Yoakum, a 4 seed. Michelle Frummelt, the 5 seed. Leroy Kedley will take on Nicole Robson. Winner of that will get Beth Jen. Devin Hillary will take on Jill Kedley. And Ann Welp will take on Nancy Kramer. That is the A bracket in this double elimination tournament, Bobby.
Oh, it's going to be a great night, Joey, and I'm looking forward to the first match.
Let's get the postseason underway. Our first matchup, Leroy Kedley will be taking on Nicole Robson. It's a best-of-3 series, Bobby.
Yeah, so that's a new wrinkle into the double elimination tournament, Joey. Every player has to play maximum of 3 matches. It's best of 3, so if they can take care of business early, it's only a couple matches, but definitely an added wrinkle to the tournament, which makes it even harder to survive and advance.
And this is a winner-take-all here after Leroy Kedley and Nicole Robson each split in the first 2 games of this series.
Yeah, we see Leroy with a nice, looks like a 5 there, looks like a 4 for Nicole. Yeah, so the loser of this match, Joey, will go down to the B bracket and have to fight their way back, and the winner will advance in the A bracket. But we're all tied up here. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of close matches here tonight, Joey. All these competitors are really evenly matched, and definitely going to be some exciting scores thrown up.
Yeah, they've all made great progress throughout the season, and most of them are in postseason form here.
You can see Leroy taking the lead there, 14-13. Leroy's done a really good job at turning around his season, really starting to find that 5 and 6 ring more consistently. Looks like a 5 there as well.
5-4.
And, of course, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, you can see his wrist is taped up there. Unable to throw tonight, but he is graciously judging the entire night.
Yeah, just like that, the Magic Man no longer the defending champion. You see the belt hanging there. That's what's at stake here today.
Yeah, you know, it definitely Matt wanted to compete in this thing, but it was his throwing wrist, so it's very difficult for him to hold that axe and throw it. But Leroy with a nice bullseye there on his 5th throw to take a 4-point lead going into the turn. But these are the great high-pressure throws that we have in this double elimination tournament. And you can see the pressure getting to Leroy there a little bit.
All right,
Nicole with a nice bullseye there to capitalize greatly on Leroy's 3.
Yeah, Nicole Robson taking full advantage of the mistake by Leroy the Lumberjack, and another one gets away there. He's got to hope that's a 4, and it is. Nicole Robson still able to gain a point, though. And just like that, we're all tied up. 32 all, 3 throws to go in this winner-take-all game. Winner's going on in the A bracket. The loser's going to drop down to the B bracket.
Well, Joey, we know how important it is to stay in the A bracket in this tournament. You always want to have that loss to be able to give and go down to the B bracket if you need to, but you want to survive the gauntlet of the A bracket as long as possible. Leroy with a nice rebound there, a bullseye there on his 8th throw.
Yeah, nice to see that from the Lumberjack. He'd been struggling on his last 2 throws. Now he's looking to put it away. Not so fast, says Nicole Robson. It's a 1-point lead for Kedley heading into the 10th throw.
It all comes down to this. Nicole doing a nice job of coming back in this matchup, capitalizing on Leroy's mistakes. And we'll see Leroy looks like a 4 there, and it looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping through. on the bottom part of the blade
4-4.
there, but it's ruled a 4, Joey.
We just missed sudden death here between Leroy Kedley
Leroy
and
takes that
Nicole
match,
Robson.
46-45.
Leroy the Lumberjack escaping by 1 point to stay alive in the A bracket.
Yeah, Leroy will advance in the A bracket with a nice score of 46, but really kudos to Nicole. She'll unfortunately fall down to the B bracket, but she did a really nice job throwing that bullseye on her 6th throw, capitalizing on Leroy's 3, and then it was 5s and 4s from that point on. That 4 on her 10th throw, Joey, was so close to being a 5, and that would have sent this thing into sudden death overtime. But I think we'll be seeing more Nicole, and as far as Leroy goes, he started to find that bullseye stroke a little bit. The devastating 3, though, he's got to clean up if he wants to take home that belt.
Absolutely. Time now for our next matchup here in the postseason. Michelle Frummelt will be taking on Zach Hinkle.
So both Michelle and Zach, this is
Here we go.
their
Throw one.
first
Good luck.
tournament. We'll see how they fare. Michelle is up 1-0 over Zach. So Zach trying to even this matchup up and force a game 3. Looks like a 4 there, possibly a 5 from Michelle if it's popping through on the top part of that blade.
4-4.
Couple of 4s there from Frummelt and Hinkle to get this one started. We've seen Michelle
Score number
struggle
2, all
with
tied up.
that axe sticking into the wood throughout the season.
Correct.
Getting that axe to stick into the wood is going to be key for her. If she can avoid the drops,
6-6.
she's going to be dangerous, and she's off to a nice start
Nice
here.
throwing.
Yeah, so far through 2 throws,
Throw
Joey,
three,
to your
tied at
point,
10.
looks like that axe is hitting the wood much more flush, not wobbly like we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Nice couple 6s there by both competitors, but the axe getting away from Michelle there.
3-4.
It's a 4 there for Zach, so he takes a 1-point lead going into the 4th throw.
Throw 4.
But yeah, both
Zach by 1.
competitors have done a great job of putting together a really nice season. Obviously, there are trials and tribulations with every
4-4.
thrower, but they've really worked through their kinks
Throw 5. Zach by
and found
1.
their consistent throw.
Michelle Frummelt looking to put this one away against Zach Hinkle. With a win in this game, she can send Hinkle down to the B bracket. Hinkle
Ooh.
trying to force a game 3. That one gets
Wow.
away. Michelle's going to pick up at least a point here.
Yeah, it looks like that could be a 5 there for Michelle if it's popping through on the
5-3.
top part of that blade. And ruled a 5, and Zach with a devastating 3.
All right,
Very,
end of turn.
almost very
Michelle's up
similar
by
to what
1,
Leroy's 3 was in the first
22-21.
matchup.
Hold, please.
So Michelle Frummelt takes a 1-point lead into the second half.
Yeah, so this is really important for Michelle to stay keeping that pedal to the metal.
4-4.
She's happy to trade points, but she would like a little more cushion between her and Zach to be
Michelle
able
by
to
1. This is
come away with this
37.
victory and advance in the A bracket.
And she would certainly like a little less wobble. That last throw,
Getting
awfully wobbly.
dangerously close. Looks like that's a 4 there for Michelle, and
4-4.
Zach hanging on to the axe just a little bit.
Throw
Lucky
number
that was a
8,
4,
Michelle
not a
by
3. Getting dangerously close to that 3 ring.
So still a 1-point lead for Michelle Frummelt. We've got a nail biter here.
Ooh, the axe getting away from Michelle. Oh,
Drop
wow. Well, we saw Joey with his last few throws. Zach was holding on to that
All right,
axe
here we are
just a
at throw
little bit
number
too
9.
long.
Michelle's up by
Unfortunately
4,
for him, that was a
33-29.
devastating drop. Really could have capitalized on Michelle's 3 there and put himself in the driver's seat. But then the pressure gets to Michelle as well. Wow.
So the door
2
suddenly
drop.
open again for Zach Hinkle. He gets a couple of points, but he certainly would have liked to have
All right, throw
gotten a
number
few
10.
more there
Michelle's
with
up
that
by 2,
opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, Joey. We
33-31.
talk all the time about capitalizing on your opponent's mistake, and Zach was unable to capitalize on Michelle's 3, and then following up with Michelle's drop, Zach unable to put up significantly positive points. You know, he had the 2, and it stuck in, but man, if he would have hit a bullseye there, that would have been a real game changer. And Matt's going to get a closer look.
4-5.
It looks like that's a 5 there for Michelle, so she will take the
Michelle takes
victory
that one,
38-35.
38-35.
Michelle Frummelt staying alive in the A bracket. Zach Hinkle going to go down to the B bracket where he'll try to work his way back.
Yeah, Zach falls down to the B bracket with a score of 35. We know he has better scores in him. He had that 1 bullseye there on the second throw. Too many 4s on the board. That 3, that 2, and then, of course, a devastating drop on the 8th throw. You know, we talk all the time, Joey, about capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes. Michelle seemed to have survived her mistakes in this one. So she had that nice bullseye there on her second throw, and she had a couple 5s there as well. But those 3s and drops will not get the job done. So we'll see if she can clean that up and make a run in the A bracket here.
We are just getting this postseason started. Let's take a look at the updated A bracket. Michelle Frummelt will be awaiting the winner between Beth Jen and Leroy Kedley. Elsewhere, it's Eric Shizzle awaiting the winner of Devin Hillary and Jill Kedley. Bob Yoakum awaits the winner between Ann Welp and Nancy Kramer, Bobby.
Yeah, we got a lot of great matches coming up here, Joey. Really excited to see that matchup between Beth Jen and Leroy to see who goes on to face Michelle Fremelt. As we can see, we've already had our first upset of the night, Michelle overtaking Zach Hinkle, and Eric awaiting the winner of Devin and Jill. Should be a great win as well.
We'll bring in much more postseason Battle Axe straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque for this postseason edition of Battle Axe. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. It's a double elimination postseason tournament, and Bobby, it's off to an exciting start.
Oh, if those first two matches are any indication, Joey, we are set for a wonderful night here. So really looking forward to this next matchup.
In our next matchup, we're going to get our first look at the top seed, Beth Jen. Will be taking on Leroy the Lumberjack Kedley.
Yeah, so this will be interesting, Joey, as we see we're joined by the third matchup between these two. So I think that first matchup that Leroy had really helped him kind of get into a groove. This, of course, is the first matchup for Beth, her being the de facto #1 seed. She's got an even bigger target on her back now. And
Throw number 2.
we'll see if Leroy can advance in the A bracket and send Beth Jen down.
Yeah, he was right in this position just a few moments ago, taking on Nicole Robson in a winner-take-all game. He came out victorious, of course, to get himself this opportunity against the top seed.
Absolutely. Nice throw there by Beth with that bullseye there on her second throw. But, you know, one of the things, Joey, we talk about all the time here is getting these reps in these high-pressure throws. So Beth's been through a few tournaments, but fortunately for Leroy, though, he's already kind of been through these high-pressure throws. So we'll see how he responds. It's a nice 5 there to gain a point on Beth.
Yeah, Kedley could not ask to be in better position here. You're tied at 1 with the top overall seed.
Nice
a chance to stay alive in the A bracket and send Beth Jen down to the B bracket.
Absolutely. So it looks like a 4 there for Beth. That could be a 5 if it's popping through in the bottom part of the blade, but ruled a 4.
Nice of the Magic Man to dress up for the occasion.
Ever the showman.
Tie on.
Ever the showman. So he hasn't busted out any special pants yet, but...
Yeah, you feel for him with the injury. Ooh, and you feel for Leroy Kedley right there with that devastating drop. But Beth Jen not taking full advantage right there. She throws a 4, though. She's got a 5-point lead heading into the second half. Back to the Magic Man. You know there's nowhere else he'd rather be right now. He'd obviously love to be playing, but if he can't be playing, he's thrilled to be officiating.
Absolutely, and you can almost kind of feel it, Joey. You know, this would be Matt's matchup here. He would be facing Leroy in this situation, so I'm sure it's a little bittersweet for him. But we know how much of a competitor he is and how great he is to everybody else here, all the other throwers. So he'll be happy as a clam to see someone take home that belt. But for Beth here, you know, that 4 that she threw on her 5th throw was very close to being a 3. Followed that up with a definite 3. But Leroy unable to capitalize fully. There's a nice throw there. That looks like a bullseye there for Leroy.
4-6.
Well, that is just what Leroy the Lumberjack needed. He gets within 2 with 3 throws to go.
Yeah, so we've seen that one throw, or that one bullseye out of Beth. Other than that, she's been stuck in that vortex at 1-3, and it looks like Leroy's starting to get dialed in there. Looks like a possible bullseye. And could be a 5 there for Beth if she has it popping through in the top part of that blade.
5-6.
And that's exactly what it is. But kudos to Leroy overcoming this drop, Joey. He's got a chance at what we dare not speak. He's made this a 1-point game with 2 throws left.
It does not get any better than this.
Another nice throw. Maybe he's got that unicorn, Joey.
4-5.
Looks like a 5 there from the action cam. But still, he's able to tie this thing up.
We are tied at
38 all, heading into the final throw with a chance at the A bracket on the line here between Kedley and Jen.
Looks like Leroy threw a 4, so Beth just needs a 5 to advance. And very close if it's popping through in the bottom. We'll see what the Magic Man has to say. It's a huge call here, Joey.
It's either going to be a victory for Beth Jen or we're going to sudden death.
4-4.
A couple fours. So our first sudden death of the tournament. We'll see if Beth wants to challenge and get a second. She knows how important this call is.
You got it.
There is no reason not to get a second look at that with the entire match on the line.
Exactly. So we'll get Nicole Robson in here. She's going to take a look. But I agree 1,000%, Joey. You know, you want to – that's a very close throw. If Nicole sees something different that Matt didn't see, then that call stands. But as Nicole makes the gesture, that is a 4, so we are all tied up.
Which means we're going to sudden death. They'll try the kill shot. If one of them hits it and the other one doesn't, it's over.
Oh, and Leroy way off
takes
the
it.
mark.
Well, in this case, who's ever closer gets
Right.
the
Jen
win,
wins that match.
and it's Beth Jen. Staying alive in sudden
job.
death. She'll remain in the A bracket. Leroy Kedley will drop down to the B bracket.
Well, yeah, Joey. I mean, I think with that last throw that we saw there with Leroy, I think that's the result of not going for that kill shot, you know, consistently throughout the season. So, you know, it was very uncomfortable for him. And unfortunately for him, it cost him his ride in the A bracket. So he'll fall down to the B bracket. But a nice score of 42. A really nice job of overcoming that drop on that 5th throw. Had a chance for a unicorn on his 9th throw. Hit a 5 and tied this thing up. So he's got the resiliency to survive the B bracket. And then for Beth Jen, she's got her high pressure throws under her belt. We'll see how she responds. She knows she needs to put up some more 5s and 6s to advance in the A bracket. We'll see if she can do it.
The top overall seed getting all she can handle, but Beth Jen staying alive in the A bracket. Next up, Bob Yoakum will be taking on Ann Welp. So Ann Welp trailing after a win by Yoakum in the first game. Bob Yoakum
5-4.
looking to get the win here in game number 2 to stay in the A bracket and send Ann
number 2,
down to
Ann
the
by
B
1.
bracket.
Yeah, so Ann's done a nice job of eliminating her drops from her throw. We saw she had a kind of a rough patch through the first half of the season,
Hold, please.
but she's done a nice job. Her blade is hitting the board much more
4-4.
flush in the second half of the season. And then for Bob, he's got to consistently find that
Number
bullseye.
3,
We've seen him
and
do it every once in a while. You know, he's kind of gotten 1 or 2 in a row, maybe a few in a match. But we don't call him Bullseye Bob for nothing. We know he can live in that 5 and 6 ring
4-4.
and really make a serious run.
Throw 4 and up 1.
So it's a 1-point lead for Ann Welp after the first 3 throws.
Looks like a nice 5 there. That's a
6,
nice
4.
bullseye there for Ann Welp and ruled a 4 there for Bob Yoakum.
All right, this is throw 5 and up by 3.
Great start for Ann Welp. She's got a 3-point lead with the pressure on.
And both these competitors have been through the tournament before. Ann's been through, I believe, 1 more tournament than Bob has, so they are familiar with the double elimination format. We'll see how fatigue, though, fits in with this tournament, Joey, with everyone having to throw, you know, the best of 3 matches. That's a lot of throwing. We already knew that fatigue was a part of the
4-5.
single elimination postseason tournament. We'll see how it plays out as players advance in the A and B bracket.
All right, at
And
the
another
turn,
reason
Ann is
why
up by 2,
staying in that A
23-21.
bracket as
Hold,
long as
please.
possible
Correct.
is so beneficial. When you go down to that B bracket, you've got to get through a lot of matches just to have a shot at that championship.
You are absolutely right, Joey. Looks like a 4 there for Ann, and it could be a
4-4.
5, but ruled a 4. We'll see if Bob wants to get a closer look. But he
And
trusts
up
the
2.
Magic Man.
This is throw 7.
So Ann Welp with a 2-point lead, 4 throws to go. If she can just live in that 5 and 6 ring, she should get
Nice.
out of here with the
5-5.
win.
Really nice job of matching points there with Bob. You know, Bob wants to try to make up points here on Ann
And
to
up
try to
2.
tie this
This is
thing up
throw
and take the
number 8.
lead. And it's really important for Ann to keep that pedal to the metal, keep putting up positive points, and taking advantage of Bob's mistakes. Let's see if she can, and she
4,
might have.
5.
Indeed, she did. Ann Welp
right, throw
extending her
number 9,
lead to
Ann is up by
3.
3,
2 throws to
37-34.
go. You think Bob's thinking about the kill shot?
You know, when the position that he's in right now, he's got the loss to give, Joey. I think he wants to just kind of play the board and see how these last couple throws play out. But, you know, if this thing goes to 3 games,
4.
we could be seeing some kill shots here.
Well, it worked out for
All
Bob
right, throw
Yoakum
number
right there.
10.
The
Ann is up
bullseye
by
gets
1,
him within
41-40.
1.
Yeah,
So
so
we'll see if Ann Welp can shut the door.
looks like a 5 there for Bob, possibly a bullseye. But it looks like we'll have to see. Matt's going to get a close look here.
Another match that comes down to this final ruling on the last throw.
So we will see. This is a very important call here.
That is a 5-6.
And with the bullseye.
And takes that one, 47-45.
So Ann Welp, with ice in her veins, throwing that bullseye on the final throw to force a game 3.
Absolutely. One of the better matches that we've seen Ann throw all season long. She had that bullseye on her 4th and that nail in the coffin throw on her 10th throw with a nice bullseye there. But she was living in that 4, 5, and 6 rings. No drops on her card, no 3s on her card for a nice score of 47. And Bob just came up ever so short. He kind of got stuck in that vortex to begin the match. But fortunately for him, he had the loss to give. Now we'll move on to the third and deciding match, and we'll see who comes out. But Joey, this was a tremendous matchup and very, very close.
And we will bring you Game 3 between Ann Welp and Bob Yoakum right after the break. But before that, let's take a look at the updated bracket. It's Beth Jen advancing. She'll now take on Michelle Frummelt. Elsewhere, Eric Schizzle will take on Devin Hillary. She advanced over Jill Kedley. And it'll be game number 3 between Bob Yoakum and Ann Welp with the A bracket on the line. We'll bring that to you right after a quick break. Stay tuned to MC22 for more Battle Axe. Welcome back to this postseason edition of Battle Axe here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. Joey Dania alongside Bobby Bradford. We're here to crown a champion, and we have been cruising along through the A bracket. It's been an exciting start.
Absolutely. We just saw in our last matchup, Joey, Ann forcing a Game 3 versus Bob Yoakum, and we're going to be treated to the conclusion here.
Let's get it on. Bob Yoakum taking on Ann Welp. The winner will remain in the A bracket. The loser is heading down to the B bracket, where they'll be facing elimination.
Absolutely. We'll see if Ann can carry over her really impressive throws that she had in the second matchup of their best of 3.
6-4.
Well, indeed she does. She ended the last game with a bullseye, and she starts this one with a bullseye to quickly take a 2-point lead over Bob Yoakum.
You know, and I think what we dare not speak does carry over from match to match, so we'll see if she can get it done. Unfortunately for her, though, off the mark, and Bob able to hit the bullseye there.
Throw number 3.
Ties this thing up going to the third throw.
Bullseye Bob says, not so fast. 10 all after 2 throws.
4-4.
Looks like a 4 there for both competitors as well, but you know, we've talked about it all throughout
knotted
the
up.
season, Joey. You know,
Throw
not
number
all
4.
4s are the
Throw
same,
4.
not all 5s are the same. And so Bob doing a really nice job of moving that 4 closer to that 5 and 6 ring.
Yeah, both of these competitors playing well right now. It's going to come down to just one
Throw
mistake
5,
perhaps
tied at
here to see
19.
who stays alive in the A bracket.
Yeah, if the second match was any indicator, Joey, we know this is going to be a razor-thin game for both competitors, so mistakes have to be at a minimum. And if your opponent does make a mistake, you have to be able to capitalize on it. And it looks like Ann might have made the first mistake here
3-4.
with a 3, but fortunately for her, Bob only threw a 4.
So
All right,
Bob
at the turn,
Yoakum
and
will
Bob
take
is up
a
by
1-point
1,
lead
23-22.
into the second half here against Ann
please.
Welp.
We'll see how Ann responds. It looks like a axe getting
6-4.
away from her, and the bullseye is found by Mr. Bob Yoakum. Oh, looks like maybe Ann wants to get a check on that.
Yep.
So it is confirmed that's a bullseye.
So Bullseye Bob extending
All right,
his
throw
lead
number
to
7.
3
Bob is up by 3.
with 4 throws to go.
Well, we know that's how competitive everyone can kind of get here, Joey, in this tournament. You know, Ann got a closer look at that and said, hey, wait a second. I want to make sure that's a bullseye over there. And Matt
5,
coming in and
6.
confirming the call.
Well, right on cue, Ann Welp responds with a bullseye. She needed
All right,
that
Bob
one.
up
She
2.
really did, yeah,
Throw
just to
number
gain a
8.
point on Bob. 2-point game with 3 throws to go. We'll see how this plays out. Nice throw there by
6-4.
Bob.
Well, Bullseye
throw number
Bob
9. Bob is up by 4,
rising to the
40-36.
occasion here in the postseason. 2 bullseyes in his last 3 throws. He's got a 4-point lead now.
Absolutely. This is the dangerous competitor that we know was always there all along.
5-4.
Looks like a 5 there and a 4 there for Ann, but
All right,
if
throw
Bob
number
starts living in this
10.
5
Bob
and
is up
6
by
ring,
5,
Joey, he could be
45
getting
to
that
40.
belt fitted to be taken home.
This is where I would love to see Ann Welp go for the kill shot. Down by
Correct.
5. Doesn't look like she's going to, though.
Yeah, down by 5, you're banking on Bob making a mistake the way he's been throwing.
Good throw.
That's not
5-5.
going to happen. and both competitors will trade fives, and Bob will come out the victor.
Bob
takes that
Yoakum
match.
staying alive in the
45.
A bracket with a round of 50 for a 5-point win over Ann Welp.
Well, and, Bob did a great job of really stepping up his game from the second match that they played with a nice score of 50. As you can see there, he had 3 bullseyes on that card. Everything else was 4s and 5s, so he's a very dangerous competitor going out throughout the rest of the A bracket. But for Ann Welp, she falls down to the B bracket, but she should not hang her head at all because she put up a really nice score of 47 in the second matchup and a 45 in this one. We know if she can eliminate those drops, eliminate those 3s now from her game, that she can make a run, possibly get back out of the B bracket, and maybe see Bob Yoakum back up in the A bracket at some point.
And this is the time of the tournament where things start getting very exciting because we're going to go down to the B bracket. Devin Hillary just lost to Eric Schizzle. She's going to take on Zach Hinkle. Winner go home.
Number 1.
So Devin is already up 1-0, so Zach is quite literally playing for his axe throwing life here right now. And a 4 there to get the match started here for Devin. Could be a 5 there
4 or
for
5?
Zach. And that's what it is.
Well, that's just the kind of start you need when you're
Row
facing
2, Zach up
elimination.
1.
Yeah, when your back's up against the wall, you kind of have to put it in that extra gear. Survival mode kicks in. And it looks like Zach is exactly locked in on that.
4, 6.
Nice bullseye there on his second throw to take a 3-point lead going into the third
Throw
throw.
3, Zach up 3.
Well, Zach Hinkle couldn't have asked for a better start to this game against Devin Hillary. One advantage of playing in the B bracket, if there is one, is that you get so much experience in that
6-4.
winner-go-home
Right.
pressure kind of situation.
Absolutely, yeah. You really unfortunately get comfortable with having your
Number
back up against the
4,
wall
Zach
and
up
facing
1.
elimination. So, yeah, you can kind of callous over and get used to it a little bit. But a nice throw there by Devin with a bullseye.
This certainly wouldn't be the first
4-4.
season that we've seen a champion come out of the
Throw
B
number
bracket.
5,
Absolutely.
Zach
We
up
see
1.
champions come out of the B bracket. We've seen Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw at times go down to the B bracket and have to work his way up. Casey Laser with 9s in the past has done that as well. It looks like that's a 5 there for Devin and a 4 there for Zach. But to your point, Joey, it's all about getting the reps. This is all about this is more of an endurance competition than it is anything else. And part of
5-5.
part of the endurance is getting used to those emotions and getting used to those feelings. So Zach with a nice 5 there, taking
All right,
a
touch 'em
1-point
up, switch
lead
'em up
going
at
into the
turn.
6th throw.
Zach is up by 1, 24-23.
So Devin
hold
Hillary and
cleat.
Zach Hinkle switch sides. Devin Hillary looking to put Zach Hinkle away.
4-4.
Yeah, because we always talk, Joey, about being the aggressor, not taking your foot
Row
off the
7,
gas pedal,
Zach up 1.
and that's what you have to do in this best of 3 series. If Zach wins this game, that he's going to have momentum going into that third match. That's something that Devin desperately wants to
5-5.
avoid. She wants to end this thing right now.
And doing so
Throw
will
number
also
8,
just
Zach up
reduce
1.
the amount of matches that you'll have to
Correct.
play. So it's, as you talk about repetition and how many matches these competitors have to play just to get through the B bracket, you want to make it as few as possible.
Absolutely, Joey.
4-4.
A couple 4s there.
All right, throw number 9. Zach
So
is
we
up
have a 1-point game
37-36.
with 2 throws to go. Devin needs Zach to make a mistake, and she needs to do her best to capitalize on this to avoid going to a game 3. It looks like a
4-4.
4 there, but Devin
right,
unable
throw 10,
to
here we
capitalize
are.
on it. Man, a 5 would have been
41-40,
great there
Zach
for
up
her.
1.
Zach Hinkle with a 1-point lead heading into the 10th throw.
You can just see the concentration there on Zach's face. Looks like that could be a 5 there for
4-4.
Zach, but as it stands, it's a couple 4s. So, hey, Joey.
That's right.
You
Zach
ready for
takes
game
that
3?
one, 45-44.
Absolutely. Zach Hinkle not ready to go home just yet. He's going to a game 3 with Devin Hillary. It'll be a win or go home situation.
Yeah, Zach survived by the hair of his chinny chin there. He only had the 1 bullseye there on that second throw. Everything else was 4s and 5s. A nice score, 45. But you can see there, this is more of a story of Devin, I think, not capitalizing on those 4s that he was throwing, because she definitely had the ability to at least tie this thing, possibly take a lead with a couple throws left, and she could have put a nail in the coffin in this matchup. But as it stands, Zach survives, ties this thing up, forcing a sudden death, game 3.
Devin Hillary, Zach Hinkle, both facing elimination in game number 3. Let's take a look at the updated A bracket. Beth Jen taking on Michelle Frummelt, and Eric the Scope Shizzle, the former champion, will take on Bob Yoakum. Those should be a couple of great matches. Elsewhere, Jill Kedley awaits the winner between Ann Welp and Nicole Robson. Zach Hinkle, obviously in a battle right now with Devin Hillary, and Leroy Kedley is awaiting the winner between Hillary and Hinkle. We've got a lot more Battle Axe to go before we crown a champion here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range. Stay tuned for more Battle Axe here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe. It's a postseason edition here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range. I'm Joey Danya alongside Bobby Bradford, and we are here to crown a Battle Axe champion. The B bracket is starting to play out, and we've got a winner-take-all Game 3 with elimination on the line between Devin Hillary and Zach Hinkle.
Yeah, Joey, I'm really excited to see how this match plays out. That second match that they had was really, really close. Seemed like both players are starting to get locked in. But the loser of this match, unfortunately for them, their season comes to an end. And it's a devastating 3 there for Devin to get started. But if you're going to have a 3, you want to have it early on in the match, be able to find that, make that adjustment and start finding that 4, 5, and 6 ring.
And you want your opponent to just throw a 4 there.
Correct.
So not a lot of damage done by Zach Hinkle.
5,
He could have
6.
really capitalized on that opportunity. Instead, we've got a 2-point game between
3,
Hinkle
Zach up
and
2.
Hillary.
Yeah, nice throw there by Zach. He was able to find that bullseye ring, and hopefully he can replicate that to keep his season going. But it looks like those are a couple 4s. Matt will get a closer look here and see Matt has had a wardrobe change.
4,
Ever the
4.
showman, You can't just have one wardrobe throughout the entire tournament, Joey.
No, he's got a closet full of incredible
Throw 4,
outfits,
Zach
and
up
we're
2.
going to see a few of them here tonight, I would think.
Yeah, so for Devin, she's really got to focus up and start finding that 5 and 6 ring off the
4,
mark
5.
there. A nice 5 there by Zach to increase his lead to 3 going into the 5th throw.
Throw 5, Zach up 3.
So still just a 3-point game, but Devin Hillary can't afford to make any more mistakes here.
Right, yeah, she
4,
really
5.
can't rely on Zach to make a mistake because he's really getting
All
locked
right,
in.
at the turn, Zach is up
He's had a
4,
lot of these
24,
high-pressure
20.
throws already.
Please.
So
Tuck
he's
him
got a
up.
4-point lead going into the 5th throw, doing a nice job of staying the aggressor. And
4,
at this
4.
point, with up by 4, he's happy to trade points with Devin.
Yeah, this
Zach up
is
4,
danger
throw number
time for
7.
Devin Hillary. She's got to get hot in a hurry, and at a certain point, she's going to have to start really thinking about that kill shot.
Absolutely. It looks like another nice 5 there for Zach, and could be a devastating
5,
3,
3.
and it is there for Devin Hillary, her second 3 on the scorecard. She is down by 6,
All right,
Joey.
throw number
I agree
7,
with you
Zach up
1,000%. It's kill shot territory.
Just 3 throws to go here. Zach Hinkle looking to put it away to stay alive in the B bracket.
6, 4.
Another mistake there for Devin Hillary. Zach Hinkle takes full advantage
All right, throw
with
number
his
9.
second
Zach
bullseye
is
of
up
the
8,
match. It's an
39-31.
8-point deficit for Hillary. She's got to go for the kill shot right here.
Well, and one thing, Joey, that we saw from the Ironside Open, as I think we're getting a
39-31. Zach's up
score
8.
check here from Devin.
This is throw 9, yes.
So she's calling for
Kill
that
shot
kill
called
shot,
on
but
the
we saw
right.
this at the
There you
Ironside
go,
Open,
Devin.
Joey, is that some players would go for the
Kill
kill
shot
shot
called on the
on their
left. Here
8th
we
throw
go.
to really start putting pressure on their opponent to maybe force them to go for a kill shot as well. So Devin is off the mark there, and it looked like
Miss.
Oh,
Zach was going up with her. That or he was incredibly off the mark.
All right, we are at throw number
Well,
10.
he did go for the kill shot,
Zach up
so
8, 39-31.
still an 8-point lead for Zach Hinkle.
Kill shots called
Oh,
left
so
and right.
both called for the kill shot again. So if Devin hits this and Zach misses, we're going into sudden death, but she is off the mark. And this is just good practice here for Zach, who is off the mark as well, but will nonetheless survive and advance in the B bracket.
Zach takes that one.
Yeah, a
39-31.
gutsy move by Zach Hinkle to
That's
go
the way
up
to
for
do
that
it,
kill
too.
shot on the final throw. He had the match locked up if he just played the board and got anything. It was fun to watch, though, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And then once they both missed that kill shot on the 9th throw, Zach went up for the kill shot as well. If Devin did hit that, he let her throw first to see if it was going to be an even more high-pressure throw. But unfortunately for him, Devin missed that kill shot, so he got some nice practice at going for the kill shot. He was off the mark, but we know those reps really matter, Joey. And he will advance in the B bracket. And unfortunately for Devin Hillary, her season has come to a close.
Yeah, a great inaugural season, though, from Devin Hillary. Let's throw it down to an interview with Devin on coming to the end of the road here in the postseason.
I mean, it stings a little bit. I would like to lose to somebody like Leroy or, even the great Matt Bradshaw. But, it's to my good buddy Zach. We're two very competitive people. It stings. Stings a little bit, not going to lie.
Some losses just hurt a little harder than others.
Oh, they'll carry over to the next season. I'm sure there'll be some revenge matchups between those two in next season.
Well, our next matchup, we'll get our first look at the former champion, Eric the Scope Shizzle. He's going to take on Bob Yoakum here in the A bracket, and a new due for Eric the Scope here in the postseason.
Yeah, Eric has come dressed to impress here at this Week 8 double elimination tournament. Our first time seeing Eric, and Bob, with his last matchup with Ann Welp, is really starting to find that 4, 5, and 6 ring consistently. We'll see if he can carry that over versus his matchup with the Scope.
The Scope out to the early 1-point advantage after throwing a 5.
Throw 2. Eric up 1.
Yeah, so for Bob Yoakum, it's just focusing up on that board. He's really seemed to find something that clicked. Looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping through in the top part of that blade.
Yeah, he finished his last game so strong in a winner-take-all situation.
Really did.
He was really great down the second half of that match.
Ooh, and getting a closer look, I don't know if that blade's popping through for Bob, but it looks like a 5 there for the Scope. So Eric taking a quick 2-point lead over Bob going into the third throw.
The Scope already the victor in Game 1, so one more win by Eric would send Yoakum down to the B bracket.
And we know Eric is one of the more meticulous throwers, but also does a tremendous job of keeping that pedal to the metal. As a true champion in a true champion form, he does a great job of capitalizing on his opponent's mistakes. Really doesn't worry about what they're doing over there. Focuses on the board, focuses on his throw. And as you can see through 3 throws, he is up by 3 going into the 4th throw.
Bob Yoakum stuck in the vortex right now.
Eric up 3.
Yeah, definitely not the time for Bob to be stuck in the vortex. You can see him shaking his head there. He's another 4. But again, Eric, you can see there with his head down, he doesn't even look over to his left, Joey, to see what's going on. He is focused up on that board, and that's another 5 there.
5.
And we know those 5s can turn into bullseyes very quickly.
And those 5s have turned into a 4-point lead for Eric the Scope after 4 throws.
Yeah, so Bob just needs to make that adjustment, get out of that vortex, and that's a nice throw there. Huge throw.
Looks like a flush bullseye for Bullseye Bob.
And then for Eric, he would love a bullseye here. Start turning some of those 5s into bullseyes.
5.
But he is off the mark. Still not bad to start off the match
At
with
the turn,
5
Eric is
consecutive
up
5s.
3, 25, 22.
Eric the Scope would certainly take a 3-point lead into the second half of any matchup here in the postseason, but Bob Yoakum able to get a little closer there with a bullseye. We'll see if he can keep it going. That looks like a nice throw.
It's a nice throw, but very dangerous to being a drop there. He's lucky that axe is sticking in the board. And it looks like that's a 4 there for Eric. Is it a 5, though, for Bob?
See if the top of that axe is into the 5 ring.
And it is. So a 5 there for Bob. He's able to make up another point on Eric. So we knew Bob Yoakum wasn't going to quit on this match. His back's up against the wall. He doesn't want to go down to the B bracket. And he's finding the right time to start finding those 5 and 6s.
Things are tightening up. Don't go anywhere just yet, but a mistake right there from Bob Yoakum. It's a 4. We'll see if Eric the Scope can take advantage.
Yeah, you can see Bob is just getting a rhythm. And looks like that could be a 5 if it's popping through the left-hand side.
5-4.
We'll see if Matt the Magic Man agrees, and he does. So Eric able to get a point back on Bob Yoakum.
So Eric the Scope up 3. 3 throws to go. The Scope going to look to put it away. We'll see if he can finally get into that bullseye ring.
Well, I think for Bob here, he desperately wants Eric to throw a 4 so he can start going for some kill shots here, well within the range of doing that. And that's exactly what Eric does.
We are throw number 9.
So we'll see if Bullseye Bob decides to go for a kill shot. But before we do, he wants a second look here. It's a very important call. Bob looks like he thinks it's a 5. Matt will see if he agrees. But just a huge call, huge ruling here.
Yeah, this is the difference between a 3-point deficit or a 2-point deficit.
Oh, and I think you can see there from that action cam, Joey, that is popping through a 4 or 5, and Matt confirms it. So a nice challenge there by Bob Yoakum.
This
And
is throw
so
number
Bob
9.
Yoakum
Eric up by
within
2,
2
38-36.
with 2 throws to go.
This is where I'd love to see Bob go for that kill shot.
Yeah, the way Eric the Scope is playing,
Especially
you know
when
he's
you
not
do
going to make a mistake.
Well, yeah, he's been living in that 5 ring. You know, he's had a couple 4s, and there's that dagger. There's a bullseye there to capitalize on Bob's 3. We mentioned it earlier in the match that Eric is so good at capitalizing on his opponent's mistakes.
All right,
So
throw
it's a
10.
5-point
Eric is up
deficit
5,
now.
44-39.
Yoakum has to go for the kill shot here.
I agree with you, Joey. I think you see Bob thinking about it, electing to play the board, though, with a nice throw there with bullseye, but it's all for naught as he'll fall down to the B bracket.
Unless the Scope has a rare drop, but no way, says the former champion.
4,
He's
6.
staying alive in the A bracket. Bob Yoakum ending this one with a bullseye,
Eric
but
takes the match,
he's got some work to do
48-45.
down in the B bracket.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Eric, if we've ever seen Eric throw have a drop, but fortunately for him, he survives this matchup 48-45, sweeping Bob Yoakum to advance into the A bracket. Really nice job. He had those 5 consecutive 5s to start off the match. Only 2 4s on the scorecard, but that one bullseye on that 9th throw, he really wants to start turning those 5s into bullseyes, and he wants to avoid going for the kill shot if he has to, but we know the Scope has that in his back pocket. But for Bob, he's starting to figure out his throw. He just gets stuck in that vortex a little bit, which we've seen other competitors do. So if he can start stringing together those 5s and 6s, he can definitely survive the B bracket and possibly take home this belt.
Let's take a look at the updated brackets here in our double elimination postseason tournament. There's the A bracket. Michelle Frummelt will take on Eric the Scope Shizzle after a big upset. Frummelt just keeps advancing. She took down Beth Jen. Let's take a look at the B bracket. Beth Jen awaiting the winner between Nicole Robson and Jill Kedley. Bob Yoakum will take on Zach Hinkle.
Yeah, it's a tremendous upset there by Michelle Fremmel to beat Beth Jen, so she now has to survive the B bracket. We'll see if she can make her way back.
Lots more Battle Axe to come as we crown a champion here at the Bustin' Axe. Stay tuned to MC22 for more Battle Axe. Welcome back to a postseason episode of Battle Axe here at the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range. I'm Joey Daniel alongside Bobby Bradford. We are set to crown a champion here in this double elimination postseason tournament in the A bracket. There's just a few competitors left. We're going to bring you one of those A bracket matchups right ahead, Bobby.
Oh, man, there was a huge upset in the A bracket. Michelle Fremmel was able to upset Beth Jen, and she advances to face Eric the Scope Shizzle. So if Michelle can win this match, Joey, as you can see, we're all tied 1-1. If Michelle can win this match, she will be the victor of the A bracket and await the winner of the B bracket. Just a tremendous turn of events.
Michelle Frummelt, new to the league, but undaunted by the big stage of this postseason.
Well, we've seen it all throughout the season, Joey. As long as she can keep that wobbly axe in control, she can put up some serious points.
Eric up
She
2,
can
throw
she's
2.
been a really nice job of finding that 4, 5, and 6 ring very quickly. But like most new throwers, she can get caught with some drops and some 3s. But she's putting together a heck of a tournament so far.
She's got a tall task here against the former
6-4.
champion Eric the Scope Shizzle. Back-to-back bullseyes for the Scope.
But we know what it's
Throw
like
3,
when Eric
Eric
gets
up
locked
4.
in. He's a true champion. He's got a couple bullseyes here to start this third matchup here. But Michelle is not going to be intimidated. Looks like a 5. Could be a bullseye if it's popping through on the right-hand side. But you can tell all the work that Eric has done in the regular season to kind of bide his time, really work on his throw.
Yep.
It's really kind of starting to show itself and
4-5.
come to fruition. But a 4 there for Eric on his third throw.
So Michelle
right,
Frummelt
Eric
is
up
the
3,
Cinderella
throw 4.
of this tournament, and Cinderella is not ready for the ball to end just yet.
Yeah, she's done a really nice job of, again, it looks like that's very close to being a 5. Could be a 4 if it's not popping through in the top part of that blade. But Eric with a 4 there. I don't think that's popping through in the left-hand side. Man, it's going to be a big ruling here. And Matt's going to get a closer look at Eric's throw here. Of course, he likes to keep us in suspense. Man, I don't see a popping through on that left-hand side. Do you, Joey?
Doesn't look like it. And you know that Michelle Frummelt is hoping that's the case.
Yeah, she would love to gain a point here.
4-4.
A couple fours there for both competitors. So Eric, after a strong start, has a couple fours, leaving the door open here on the fifth
All right,
throw.
Eric up 3, throw 5.
He agrees with the call. Got a closer look, though. But Michelle doing a great job. She's taking a page out of the Scopes book. She does not care what Eric's doing over there. She's just focused up on that board, trying to hone in her throw.
And it's got to feel like she's playing with house money.
Exactly.
You know, I don't think a lot of people expected her to be here in the A bracket this long.
This far, yeah.
She's got a real chance here to take down another former champion.
And you know she's feeling it a little bit there, dancing. You can see that's at least a 4 there for Eric. It could be a 5, but I think she's got a bullseye there on her throw if it's popping through on the left-hand side.
4-6.
And it is. So definitely cause for a little dancing.
All right, at the
Yeah,
turn.
you can tell Michelle Frummelt is excited
up
about
1,
the
24,
position she's in.
23.
She's only down by 1
Call,
against one of the
please.
titans of this league.
Yeah, just doing a great job of competing in this match. Axe getting away from her there a little bit. With a 4, we'll see how Eric responds.
And what she's done a real nice job of is eliminating that wobble.
Exactly.
The first few axes on her first matchup, there was some wobble, but she's really sticking that axe into that wood now.
She desperately wants this to be a 4. She would love to just trade 4s with Eric here. I think it's popping through.
4-4.
But it is not. It is ruled a 4.
Big break there from Michelle
right,
Frummelt.
Eric
Every
up 1,
point
throw 7.
crucial when you're going up against a player the caliber of Eric the Scope.
Yeah, and it looks like another 4 there. Eric definitely stuck in the vortex, though. So we'll see if he can break out of it, and he does. In tremendous fashion there. Nice bullseye there on his 7th throw. Take a 3-point lead. But Michelle needs to just focus up on that board, find that throw that she had on her 5th throw when she had that bullseye. Nice. Really nice throw.
Just what Michelle Frummelt needed. That might be a bullseye.
Yeah, it's at least a 5. And we've seen with Eric's throws, he's been off the mark a little bit.
6-4.
And another 4 there for Eric. And ruled a bullseye for Michelle,
Joey.
Joey.
Well, just when Eric the Scope had a 3-point lead, Michelle Frummelt says,
Not
hold
so
on
fast.
just 1 second. We're not done yet.
Oh, but the holding on to the axe just a little bit too long. Fortunate that's a 4. Dangerously close to being a 3. And lucky for her, I think that's only a 5 there
4
for
or 5.
Eric. But still, we got a 2-point lead, Joey, going into the 10th throw.
All right, here we are.
Michelle needs to hit a
Eric is up
bullseye.
2,
Eric needs to hit a 4 for this thing to go into sudden death. I don't think a 3 is in the card for Eric. We'll see how Michelle throws. Ah, she's off the mark. Wow. And Eric with a
3,
nice,
5.
easy throw of a 5 there.
Well,
Eric
what an
takes the
exciting
match,
match this was.
48-44.
Eric the Scope staying alive in the A bracket. He takes down Michelle Frummelt 48-44.
Yeah, Michelle was in this match all the way up until the 10th throw, Joey. She desperately needed Eric to throw a 4, and she needed to hit a bullseye to send this thing into sudden death. But unfortunately for her, she hit a 3, and she falls down to the B bracket. But like you said, Joey, she was playing with house money in this situation, and she goes down to the B bracket. Because she's made it so far in the A bracket, she doesn't have that much of a gauntlet to get back to face Eric for maybe a chance to win this championship belt.
Yeah, it's been quite the postseason for Michelle Frummelt, and it's not over yet. Here's Frummelt on the road ahead in the B bracket.
Honestly, I didn't think I was going to get this far, so I haven't looked yet. So I still have to see who I need to beat, but I do feel like I'm out of my head a little bit, so I can definitely take on whoever it is coming next.
Yeah, the way she's playing, you feel like she can beat anybody. She's already taken down the top seed, and she nearly took down Eric the Scope.
Yeah, we'll see how she survives the B bracket and see if she can make her way up and challenge Eric to Scope for that belt. But as it stands, we got a great
Here we go.
matchup right now.
Nicole
one.
Robson taking on Jill Kedley. Robson took the first game 1-0. She'll be looking to eliminate Jill Kedley from this postseason
6-4.
here in game number 2.
Yeah, our first time seeing Jill tonight. But
Throw
Nicole with a
2,
nice
Nicole
start
up
there, a
2.
bullseye. And our second time of seeing Nicole since her first matchup of the night, Joey, where she fell to Leroy Kedley 46-45.
So she's already faced off against one Kedley. She'll look for better fortune this time around against Jill Kedley.
Looks like a nice throw there. Could be a 5. I think it could be a 5 for both competitors. We'll see if Jill's is popping through the bottom part of that blade. But better than that, Joey, it is ruled a bullseye.
Love the enthusiasm from the
All right,
Magic
throw
Man.
3,
You can
Nicole
tell
up
he's
1.
having fun.
Well, he loves to see when competitors really start to take that next step and elevate their game. So a nice bullseye there by Jill. See if she can carry it over. That could be a 5 there. Definitely a 4 there for Nicole.
4-4.
But ruled a 4. Very close to being a 5, though, Joey.
Yeah, that was one of those good misses that
Yeah.
we talk about a
All right,
lot.
throw 4,
Awfully
Nicole
close
up
to
1.
being a 5 for Jill Kedley. She still trails by 1 to Nicole Robson.
Well, and these players have advanced in the B bracket enough where they've gotten those high-pressure throws under their belt.
4-3.
It looks like the axe just getting away from Jill there.
All right, throw
Nicole,
5. Nicole's
fortunately,
up 2.
though, for Jill, Nicole only threw a 4, so only gained 1 point on her. But those are the kind of mistakes that we see with the evolution of a thrower, Joey, you know. Jill and Nicole have both dealt with drops throughout the season. But once you start eliminating
6-4.
those, you have to start focusing on that 4, 5, and 6 ring. But
All right, at
sometimes
the
those
turn,
pesky
Nicole is
3s
up
and 2s
4,
sneak in every once in a while as well.
25-21.
But
Hold, please.
nice job of Nicole being the aggressor here, though.
A great start for Nicole Robson. Her second bullseye of the match.
Oh,
She's in complete control, but that one gets away.
it does. And Jill unable to capitalize fully. It could be a 4 if it's popping through in the top part of that blade. But yeah, how much of a momentum shift would that be if that was a bullseye or a 5?
3-3.
Ooh. So I thought guaranteed that was going to be a 4 there for Jill.
All right, throw 7.
Well,
Nicole
we've
by
talked
4.
a lot about when you get those opportunities to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes.
Yeah.
You've got to make them, and a big missed opportunity there for Jill Kedley.
Yeah, you can
That's
see a 4 there, and you
that's
can see
fine.
Nicole shaking her head. She knows that she had
4-4.
a really nice start to this match. Comes out of the gate on the second half with a 3 and a 4.
All right, this is throw 8.
Still has a
Nicole up
4-point lead, though, going into the 8th throw. But even if Nicole comes out the victor in this game and advances in the B bracket, she knows those kind of throws aren't going to keep her sustained and advancing.
Yeah, she's certainly happy to trade points at
Nice.
this point in the match, but she'd like to finish strong and carry some momentum into her next matchup here in the B bracket.
Yeah, you got to look at the bigger picture, especially when you're down in the B bracket. And there's
5,
very little
6.
room for error. And there, Nicole gets back on track, as does Jill Kedley as well, with a nice 5 there in her 8th throw.
All right, this is throw number 9.
Nicole able to pick up a point, and I believe Jill called for the kill shot.
Well, down by 5 with 2 throws to go. This is the right call.
Well, we've seen Jill in regular season go for the kill shot and be aggressive, so we'll see if that practice has paid off.
Oh, miss.
very
4.
close. Very close, though, Joey.
So that will
All right,
do
this
it
is throw
for
10.
Jill
Nicole's up
Kedley.
8, or up 9,
She'll go up for the kill shot
42-33.
one last time. Her final
First shot
throw
called
of
on
this
left.
postseason.
Yeah, even though the game is out of reach, I still like the call going for the kill shot. Something, Joey, I think that even though Jill's season's coming to an end, could be very beneficial for her come next season. So perhaps we have a new scope in the making. Oh, that looked
Nice.
That one
5.
looked like it was right on the mark,
Yep.
but she threw it a little too
Nicole
hard.
takes that match, 47-33.
And a great run, a great season comes to an end for Jill Kedley. Nicole Robson staying alive in the B bracket. She wins at 47-33.
Yeah, Nicole was able to get the sweep there. As you can see on her scorecard, Joey, she had 3 bullseyes there, something she definitely wants to carry over, but something she doesn't want to carry over, Joey, is that 3 that she had on her 6th throw. She really wants to live in that 5 and 6 ring in order to make a comeback in this B bracket, but a nice score of 47 will definitely get the job done. And then for Jill, she was aggressive going for that kill shot on her 9th throw. Unfortunately for her, she was off the mark, which really put her behind the 8 ball in coming out the victor of this game. Her season will come to an end, but she did a great job, and she definitely grew a lot as a thrower.
Just a few players left still in the mix for that championship. Let's take a look at the updated bracket. Here in the B bracket, Beth Jen will take on Nicole Robson now. The winner will take on Bob Yoakum, and then it's Michelle Frummelt awaiting all of them.
Yeah, so Bob Yoakum continuing his impressive tournament, able to take out Zach Hinkle to advance in the B bracket. He'll await the winner of Beth and Nicole, so that should be a great matchup no matter who comes out the victor.
And, of course, it's Eric the Scope awaiting in the A bracket. We've got a lot more Battle Axe still to go before we crown a champion. Stay tuned for more Battle Axe here on MC22. Welcome back to the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque. I'm Joey Dania alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We're here to crown a champion in this double elimination postseason tournament, Bobby.
Yeah, the A bracket is set with Eric the Scope Shizzle awaiting the winner of the B bracket. And we've seen some tremendous matchups, Joey, and I'm really looking forward to this next one as well.
Yeah, just a few names left in the B bracket. Beth Jen, the top overall seed. She'll be taking on Nicole Robson.
We'll see if she can survive the B bracket to try to take home that belt. But as it stands, Nicole with a nice 5 there to get this match started, taking a 1-point lead going into the second throw.
You are correct.
Yeah, Beth Jen has come so far throughout her Battle Axe career,
All right, Nicole
and
up
this
one,
is
throw
the
two.
year she's looking very poised to go get that belt.
Yeah, she's got her work cut out for her, though. But a nice throw there on her
6-4.
second throw. Nice bullseye there to retake the lead. 10-9 going into the third throw.
3, Beth up 1.
But she's had her back up against the wall for a while here in this tournament. She took an early defeat in the A bracket to Michelle Fremmelt.
Yeah, and we see that happen time and time again from with the people in the number one
Same
spot,
time.
Joey. And we know that people elevate their game to try to beat the number one
4,
seed.
3.
And unfortunately for Beth, that's exactly what happened when she went up against Michelle Fremmelt. But as we've seen with Michelle in her past matches, she's
All right,
throwing
Beth
great
up 2,
right now.
throw
So
4.
seeds are all thrown out at this point.
Nice throw there from Nicole Robson. She picks up a point on Beth Jen to get within a point.
And we're at the stage 2, Joey, of the tournament
4,
where
5.
everyone's locked in. Everyone's got their kinks worked out. I mean, we saw Nicole with that
All
3
right,
on her
Beth
third
up
throw,
1.
but everyone's
This is
really
throw
kind of figured
5.
out what's working for them, what's not working for them. And that's why we're seeing so many close matches. But, I mean, that axe getting away from Beth pretty badly there. Looks like a 2 there for Beth to Nicole's at least 5.
2,
Well,
5.
Nicole Robson takes a 2-point advantage over Beth Jen heading
All
into
right,
the
at the
second
turn,
half.
Nicole is
A
up
rare
2,
mistake from
22,
Beth
20.
Jen.
Yeah, I think the
Hold,
turn couldn't
please.
come sooner there for Beth Jen with a 2 on her 5th throw. Better throw, but a 4 and a couple
4,
4s
4.
there. So Nicole with a 2-point lead going into the 7th throw. She needs to really
Nicole
continue
up
to be
2,
the
throw
aggressor
7.
here. She did a great job of capitalizing on Beth's mistake. But we know Beth, although she had that 1-2, mistakes are rare.
Yeah, with a 2-point lead, you can't be complacent at this point
Correct.
against Beth Jen.
Double check that one.
And it looks like a very close call here. Matt's going to get a closer look. That could be a bullseye if it's popping through on the right-hand side.
3,
But it
5.
is not. But Beth able to tie this thing up.
29 all,
We are
3
knotted
throws
up
to
on
go.
Throw 8.
Well, we knew in that last matchup with Nicole, she had that 1-3 on her scorecard. We knew that she had to eliminate those if she wanted to continue. And unfortunately for her,
Miss 5.
that is a miss. And Beth able to capitalize with a 5.
All right, we are on throw
Nicole
number 9.
Robson
Beth is up
facing
5,
elimination.
34-29.
And the pressure of this moment seems to be getting to her just a little bit.
I think you're absolutely right, Joey. She was in the driver's seat. All she needed to do was just kind of live in that 4 ring.
4, 4.
Really kind of hope for Beth to have another mistake.
All right, ladies, here we're
Unfortunately
at
for her
throw
on that
10.
8th
Beth,
throw,
you're
she
up
held
by
on that
5,
axe just a little bit too long.
38-33.
Now she's down 5. You know, Beth has thrown a 2. Why not go for a kill shot here? Hope that Beth makes a mistake. But it looks like Nicole's just going to play the board. And it looks like a couple 4s, maybe a 5 there for Beth.
4,
Well,
4.
a great run comes to an end for Nicole Robson
Beth takes that
as
match,
Beth Jen
42-37.
advances once again here in the B bracket.
Yeah, Beth survives the B bracket here. She'll advance. And with a nice score of 42, but, you know, she did have that 2 on her 5th throw. Definitely something she doesn't want to have carry over into her next matchup. And then for Nicole, she was in the driver's seat of this thing. She had that 3 on her 7th throw, but she was still very much in control. And then she had that devastating miss on that 8th throw, which really allowed Beth to come back in this thing. And then she was just never able to recover. I would really like to have seen her go for that kill shot on that 10th throw, possibly rely on Beth to make a mistake. We know we never want to rely on our opponent to make a mistake, but your back's up against the wall, your season's up against the wall. But she'll carry it over to next season and better things ahead.
Beth Jen will get right back out there again and take on Bob Yoakum. Jen will look to eliminate yet another competitor here in the B bracket.
As you can see, we're all knotted up here going into the third and deciding match. And it looks like a couple 4s, maybe a 5 there for Bob, if he's popping through in the bottom part of that blade, and it is a 5 there. Yeah, so with the way that Bob's been throwing, Beth has very little room for error.
Bob up 1, throw 2.
Bob's really doing a nice job of starting to find that 5 and 6 ring more consistently. So you can see there's a 4, but not far off from being a 5. Nice response there by Beth.
And this is the point in the tournament where you wonder,
Tied up,
is
throw
fatigue starting to play a factor? These two have thrown a lot of axes here today.
They absolutely have, Joey, and it's another thing too where the pressure is mounting. Now we're in the B bracket. The loser of this match,
6-5.
their season's over. Bob doing a really nice job finding that bullseye again.
That is why
Bob
we
up
call
1, throw
him
4.
Bullseye Bob.
Well, and he can be really dangerous when he's living in that 4, 5, and 6 ring. We've seen that axe get away from him a little bit. Again, that 4 very close to being a 5. Beth with a nice response. That could be a 5 to gain a point on old Bullseye Bob.
4-5.
And it is. So Beth able to tie this thing up. And this is a true heavyweight
Tied
matchup.
at 19, throw 5.
19 all after 4 throws between Jen and Yoakum.
Really nice throw there by Bob. Looks like a flush bullseye. And Beth off the mark, but not by much.
6-5.
But you can see, we've talked about it all the time, Joey. Not all misses are the same.
All right, at the turn, Bob is
Every
up
throw
1,
that both of these
25,
competitors
24.
have been very close. No one has missed wildly yet.
Couple of bullseyes for Yoakum in the first half of this one.
4-4.
Takes a 1-point lead into the second half, and he'll keep that 1-point
Bob up
lead
1,
after
throw 7.
Jen and Yoakum both throw 4s on throw number 6.
And I saw in that last throw from Beth Jen, though, that was a little bit of a wobbly axe, so she can definitely not afford a drop here in this
5-5.
match. Bob happy to trade points, but would like a little more of a cushion, though.
Bob up 1, throw 8.
Bob Yoakum clinging to a 1-point lead over the tournament's top seed. 3 throws to go. That one gets away. We'll see if Jen takes advantage.
And she does.
6-4.
Wow. So a tremendous turn of events
Throw
here
number
for
9.
Beth Jen.
Beth up by 1,
Doing a
39-38.
fantastic job of really capitalizing on Bob's 4 there. Able to take a 1-point lead with 2 throws to go. High
What-
pressure.
What a time for her first bullseye.
4-4.
And they trade 4s there, so down to a
All right, all
one-point
comes down to
game.
this, you two.
Can you
Beth,
feel
you're
it,
up by
Joey? I
1,
mean, this is what the
43,
tournament's all
42.
about. This is what we wait 7 weeks for. Let's see who comes out the victor.
Bullseye Bob could really use a bullseye.
Oh, and he's off the mark with a 4. And Beth
6-4.
with a dagger.
Beth Jen with another
Beth
bullseye
takes
to
that match,
lock up another win.
49-46.
49-46, Yoakum is eliminated.
Well, I think we saw something kind of flip the switch here with Beth Jen in this matchup, Joey. I mean, Bob really didn't make any mistakes here in this matchup. I mean, he maybe a little too many 4s on the scorecard, but as he was going throw to throw with Beth Jen, they were both in this matchup. But something clicked with Beth Jen from that 7th throw on. As you can see, she had that 1-5 and then 2 bullseyes. So maybe the prospect of her season coming to an end without going home with that belt really kind of clicked, and she was able to find a new gear to go into. But she comes out the victor, 49-46, and she'll advance and face Michelle Fremmel.
Just 3 competitors remaining here in this postseason tournament. We'll see which one of them becomes our next Battle Axe champion. Stay tuned to MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe, where we are closing in on our championship matchup of this double elimination postseason tournament. Just one match left to go in the B bracket, Bobby.
Yeah, we Yeah, Michelle Fremelt was able to defeat Beth Jen in the A bracket, but we have a rematch here in the B bracket, Joey, and this time the loser goes home.
Beth Jen worked her way all the way back through the B bracket to get to this moment, a chance at redemption against Michelle Frumelt, the Cinderella darling of this tournament.
Yeah, here we have the rubber match between these two, coming in at 1-1.
6,
And
5.
it looks like a 6 there for Beth Jen and Michelle with a 5, but yeah, both
Beth up
these
1, throw
competitors
2.
have been locked in, really putting together a tremendous matchup. Nice throw there by Michelle.
5, 6.
Yeah, Michelle showed
tied
this
up, throw
potential
3.
throughout the regular season,
Yeah.
and now she's really living up to it, playing her best here in the postseason.
And it really goes to show when you can eliminate your mistakes, you can eliminate those
6,
drops
4.
and those threes, start living in that 4, 5, and 6 ring, you can really compete with anybody.
Beth up 2, throw 4.
And as we've seen here with Beth through first 3 throws, she's doing a great job of living in that 5 and 6 ring and has a 2-point lead going into the fourth throw.
Beth Jen dialed in, closing
6.
in on a chance at a championship.
But a nice response there by Michelle.
Tied up, throw
Nice
5.
bullseye to tie this thing up going into the 5th throw.
And what's been really fun to watch for Michelle Frumelt this postseason, it seems every time she gets in a little bit of a jam, she rises to
5-5.
the occasion with a big throw.
Yeah, there's been a lot of resilience in
turn,
her
we are
game,
tied at
Joey.
26.
A couple 5s there, but yeah, to your point, when she's found herself behind, she hasn't really relied on her opponent to make a mistake. She just made really good throws when she's needed to make them. And it looked like Matt was going to take Michelle's axe there and
4,
fix
6.
a little bit of the exposed wood there. But a nice throw there by Beth, another
Beth up
bullseye
2,
to take a
throw
2-point
7.
lead.
Her
But-
third bullseye of the match, Bobby.
Absolutely. And for Michelle, though, she hasn't really allowed her opponent to really start running away with the game. The axe really getting away from her there.
3, 4.
One of her only bad throws we've seen tonight.
Beth up
A
3,
3
throw
for
8.
Michelle Frumelt, but Beth Jen throwing a 4, so not a lot of damage done there. Still a 3-point game.
Yeah, really fortunate that Beth only threw a 4 there.
4,
And there
4.
she's getting back on the 4 train.
All right, we are at throw
But
9.
yeah, Beth up by 3
3
with
40 to
only 2
37.
throws to go. I don't know if it's kill shot time yet, but I'd like to, you want to gain a point on Michelle. Do you want to gain a point on Beth here?
Got to throw a 5 or a 6. Looks like that might be a 5.
And that could be a 4 there for Beth.
Crucial ruling here coming from the Magic Man.
Yeah, because if they trade 4s, you're definitely going to go for that
5-4.
kill shot. If you can gain a point on Beth Jen, which it looks like she did,
All right,
then
throw
she
10.
can,
Beth is up
more
2,
elect to go play the
44,
board.
42. Want a second?
Beth's getting a closer look. It looks like she wants a second. Knowing how crucial that ruling is, Joey, if that maintains a 4, then they can both play the board and possibly send this thing into sudden death or come out the victor. But upheld as a 4.
All right,
So
throw
Michelle
10.
Frumelt gets
Beth, throw up by
within
2,
2,
44,
heading into the
42.
final throw. She needs one more big throw to put some pressure on Beth Jen.
Yeah, now she needs Beth to throw a
4-4.
2, which we've seen her do in the tournament, but there's a
Jen
4
takes
there.
that match,
and Beth will come out the victor.
48-46.
Well, a great run coming to an end for Michelle
Third place
Frumelt in her inaugural season here on Battle Axe. Beth Jen advancing to the championship.
Yeah, Michelle will end her season in 3rd place. Not too bad for someone in their first axe throwing league. And she even had her chance to tie this thing up in that 10th throw. If she would have hit a bullseye there on that throw, Joey, and Beth hit her 4, this would have gone into sudden death overtime. But as it stands, she falls 48-46. And for Beth, she did get stuck in that vortex there towards the end of that match, Joey. But a really nice start you see there with 3 bullseyes in her first 6 throws. So definitely something she wants to carry over into her matchup in the championship round with Eric the Scope, because we know 4s are not going to get it done.
And with that, it is time for our Battle Axe Championship. Eric the Scope Shizzle taking on Beth Jen in a best-of-3 championship
All right, throw one.
series.
Well, they both took a couple
Good
different
luck.
paths to get
Lane's
here,
open.
but the 1 and 2 seed meet in the championship match. It's all 0s here to get the night started.
Yeah, this probably was not the path that Beth Jen envisioned taking to
Looks
get
like
to the
4-6.
championship. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Throw the records out the window.
Yep.
It's all down to these last 3 matches
Eric
here.
up 2, throw 2.
Well, and this is a element where the B bracket can maybe be a little bit beneficial to you. Obviously, fatigue is an issue, and that's definitely something you have to worry about. But she's gotten a lot of throws in while Eric has sat there and just watched everyone throw. So you can only practice so much, but we know practice doesn't have the same kind of high pressure intensity that the bright lights of the Thunderdome have.
Well, a great start for Eric the Scope, and another 4 there from Beth Jen. Eric the Scope can take a commanding lead here with another bullseye.
A couple 4s there, but not too far off from
Eric
being a
up
5
2,
there
throw
for Eric
3.
the Scope.
So Beth Jen fortunate to still be within a couple of points after a couple of 4s. We'll see if she can get out of that vortex right here.
Yeah, well, in looking at the end of her last matchup with Michelle, Joey, she was definitely stuck in that vortex, and it's carrying over into this first match of the championship matchup here.
4, 5.
It looks like could be a 5 there. Dangerously close to being a 4 there for Eric the Scope, but
Eric up
nonetheless,
3,
he's able to
throw
pick up
4.
a point on Beth Jen, up by 3, going into the 4th throw. And then for Beth, she's got to focus up on that board. You know, she's stuck in the vortex. She knows it. And that's a great response. That looks like that could be a bullseye.
Eric the Scope taking his time as always, and we'll see if that is a 5 or a bullseye.
6, 5.
It's a 5 for Eric the Scope and a bullseye for Beth Jen. What a big throw there. Jen really
All right,
needed
throw
that.
5.
She absolutely
Eric
did.
up
It was a
2.
great way to get out of the vortex there. Able to get a point on Eric the Scope. 18 to 20 going into the 5th throw. Now she's got to replicate it. And a great response there. Looks like that could be a 5, possibly a bullseye if it's popping through on the right-hand side. And Eric with a 4 there.
5, 4.
So Beth able to get another point, Joey.
She is hanging around,
All right, at the
chipping
turn,
away at
Eric
that
is up 1,
deficit.
24,
Just a
23.
1-point lead for Eric the Scope heading into the second half.
Perhaps Beth is turning on that gear that we saw when she was up against Bob Yoakum. Able to really put up some nice points on the second half of that matchup. That could be a 4, possibly a 5 if it's popping through on the bottom part of
5.
that blade, and it is a couple 5s there for both competitors. Both going to get a closer look, knowing that points are at a premium here.
You are correct. 4.
Oh, and so initially called a couple 5s, Joey, but Beth got up there and saw that it was a 4. She doesn't want to take home that belt with tainted glory.
Eric up 2, throw 7.
Everybody wants to win honorably here on Battle Axe. Beth Jen, no different. She's looking to become a champion for the first time in her career, and she wants to do it the right way.
Well, and already she is the first female in
4,
the
6.
championship round, so kudos to her on that. And a nice bullseye there
8,
on her
we are
7th
tied
throw to
up.
tie this thing all up.
Another big bullseye from Beth Jen. 33 all, 3 throws to go. The anticipation is building here at the Thunderdome.
Well, this is the kind of pressure throws that this all builds to. You know, it's like forging a diamond. It all comes out, and you see what everything's made of
4,
here, and it
5.
looks like a 5 there for Beth, possibly a 4,
Yep. 5, 5.
and a couple 5s there.
So it's going to come down to these last couple
All right, this is
throws
throw
here
number 9,
in
tied at 38.
game number 1 of this championship series.
Yeah, if anything for Beth, she can really hang her hat that she really put up a fight and came back in this matchup. There's a 4. We've seen Eric throw a number of 4s in this match. So I have a feeling this could be coming down to the last throw here, Joey.
This is going to be a crucial ruling here. If that's a 5, Eric the Scope will take a 1-point lead heading into the final throw.
Matt getting a closer look here.
It looks like just a little sliver at the top of
Yep.
that axe is into the 5 ring.
I agree. It looks like that's a 5.
5, 4.
And Matt agrees as well. So Eric takes a 1-point lead going into the 10th throw. This is what championship matches are all about.
10. Eric up by 1, 43-42.
Eric the Scope looking to take a 1-0 advantage here in the championship series. Beth Jen needs to throw a good axe.
She throws a 5 there, so if Eric throws a 4, you can see him sneaking a peek. This is the high-pressure throw. Oh, wow. I think he hit a bullseye there, Joey.
That is why we call him the Scope.
If anything, it's a 5, and he's going to maintain his 1-point lead, but I think it's going to be a bullseye.
6, 5.
And it is.
Eric the Scope delivering with the game on the line. He takes a 1-0
takes that one,
advantage
49,
here in this best of
47.
3 championship series.
Yeah, and I really think this comes down to how Beth came out of the gate in this matchup. She had those 3 4s to start off the match. Eric had a bullseye on a 5, so he was able to create that distance between them. And then just kudos to Beth. She was able to come back in this matchup, tie this thing up. So very close to sending this thing into sudden death overtime. But, Eric's a champion, and he knows how to turn it on when the bright lights are on. He had a really nice finish to this matchup. As you can see, only that 1-4 on a 7th throw for a nice score of 49. But this is going to be a tremendous matchup between these two. I'm really excited for the next 1, possibly 2 more matches, because both these players want to take home the belt, and they're hungry.
We will bring you the conclusion of our championship series straight ahead here on MC22. Stay tuned for Battle Axe. Welcome back to the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range, where we are about to crown a Battle Axe champion. I'm Joey the Jaw Danya, alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. And Bobby, it all comes down to the next matchups between the number 1 and number 2 seeds.
Yeah, we saw a really close matchup in the first best of 3 matchup between these two, and I'm really excited to see the conclusion here. Eric the Scope will take a 1-0 lead going into this matchup, but Beth did a really great job of coming back in that last matchup. We'll see if she can find that 5 and 6
Game 2,
ring a
throw
little more
1.
consistently.
So Beth Jen needing to win, but she's been playing with her back against the wall throughout this tournament down in the B bracket.
Great point, Joey. Beth has faced an elimination matchup before, so she's got that under her belt, so she's
4 or
familiar
5.
with the high-pressure throws. And then for Eric, he's just got to continue to do a great job of being the aggressor, capitalizing on Beth's mistakes.
Eric up 1, throw 2.
Yeah, Beth has a lot of high-pressure situations under her belt, but the belt she really wants is right in front of us.
Well said, my friend. As you can see there, it's a 4
4-4.
there by both competitors. It looks like Eric, is he shaking his arm? Is there some kind of discomfort?
Eric up 1, throw 3.
Well, we talked a lot about fatigue. You have to throw so many axes throughout the
do.
day to get to this moment, and at a certain point, fatigue certainly plays a factor.
Absolutely, and we've seen Eric as one of the more unique competitors, though, too, where we know that he can throw with his left hand, so possibly if there's an injury to that right hand, I don't know if he's gutsy enough to switch up hands in the championship match, but we've seen crazier things.
6-6.
Yeah, and he's awfully good even when playing with his non-dominant hand, his left hand. He's made some great runs with that hand
Eric
as
up
well.
1, throw 4.
It's
Couple of bullseyes there from Jen and Chisel.
Yep, the nice throws by both competitors there to start to find that bullseye. As you can see, just the tension of the throw.
What a beautiful shot of that belt right there.
Nice shot of that belt with a pretty much, I think that looks like a nice
6-6.
bullseye there. There's a nice flush bullseye there by Eric the Scope as well.
Well, Beth Jen and
up
Eric
1,
the
throw
Scope
5.
playing at their best here in the championship series. They've both got a chance to do something we are not going to speak of.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen this exact scenario play out, Joey, where both competitors have a chance on the same throw. Beth looks like she's off the mark. That could be a bullseye if it's popping in the right-hand side. And Eric with a 5 there for sure. Ruled a 5 there for Beth Jen. So still a 1-point lead, though, going into the turn.
I just didn't want
Beth
a 4.
Jen and
No
Eric the
4.
Scope both
All right,
just
touch button, switch
missing
up.
a
Beth's turn.
unicorn.
Eric is up by 1, 26-25.
It's a 1-point lead for the Scope heading into the second half.
And as you could tell, Joey, from the last 10 throws of these competitors, from the second half of their first matchup to the first half of this matchup, it's been razor thin. There's really no room for mistakes. As you can see, Beth there throwing what looks like a 4. Could be
5-4.
costly. And it is a 5 there for Eric, so he is able to take a 2-point lead going into the 7th
7.
throw, but
Eric
definitely
2.
within the margin for Beth to come back and make a game of this.
She's got to get hot in a hurry, though.
She can,
4 throws to go.
she can not get stuck in the vortex. We've seen that kind of be a bugaboo in her game so far, and that's another 4 there for her, so she's got to focus up, find that 5 and 6 ring.
5-4.
Nice 5 there by the Scope.
He extends the lead to 3. Just
Throw
3
number
throws
8,
to
Eric
go.
up 3.
but still very manageable for Beth. She's just got to find that bullseye. Perhaps Eric hits a 4. She's able to make this a 1-point game going into the last 2 throws.
Crucial throw coming here from Beth
Nice.
Jen, and she delivered.
She did deliver. That was a nice flush, clutch bullseye.
4-6.
And Eric right on cue with a 4.
Well, just like
All right,
that,
throw
Beth
number
Jen
9.
back
Eric's up
within a
1,
point.
40 to 39.
2 throws to go. Eric the Scope leading 40 to 39.
Well, this was the kind of resiliency that we saw in Beth in her first matchup with Eric, and throughout the tournament, she's had to fight to come back in the B bracket. It looks like that's a 5 there for her. If it's popping in the right-hand side, I think she's got enough room, though.
6-4.
And that's the kind of clutch throw that we've seen from Eric, and ruled a 4
All right,
there
throw
for
number
Beth,
10. Eric is up
which
by
she does
3,
not contest,
46,
so
43.
huge shift there,
Kill
Joey.
shot called on the
Yeah,
right.
just like that, she's down by 3 again, and she's going for the kill shot here with
Yep.
the championship on the line. She's got to hit it.
Yeah, we know that Eric is rarely hitting 4s. He's hit a little more 4s this tonight than usual, but that looks like a 5. Let's see if Beth can do it
5 and
off
miss.
the mark. Wow.
Well, a fantastic season comes to an end for Beth Jen, just a little short in the championship.
takes that one.
Eric the Scope Chisel back on top of the Battle Axe Mountain. He is a champion once again.
Yeah, Eric will take home the Bustin' Axe Throwing Range Championship belt, defeating Beth Jen 2-0 in a best-of-3 championship series, 51-43. But don't let that score fool you. Beth being aggressive, going for that kill shot on that 10th throw. Eric did his part. He hit that 5. If she would have hit that bullseye or that kill shot, she would have sent this thing into sudden death overtime, and that would have been something to see. But kudos to Beth on a tremendous season. She really showed a lot of resilience throughout this tournament and throughout the season to really elevate her game. And that championship belt is something she can definitely look forward to taking home at some point in her axe throwing career.
Yeah, when you look at how far Beth Jen has come in her Battle Axe career, she can walk out of here tonight with her head held high. Time now for our post-game wrap-up.
Yeah, this was a tremendous tournament, Joey. I mean, we had a lot of exciting things going on. There was a lot of great matches, really close matches, and we saw a lot of growth from each competitor.
And that's exactly what you'd expect to see. They've shown that growth throughout their careers, and here they are on the big stage with all of the hard work paying off. Time now for our championship belt presentation.
Third place, Michelle did a great job tonight. Well done. Very good. In second place, we have Beth Jen, who's got some serious hardware. Well done. Well
You gotta actually hold on. Pretty,
Yeah.
pretty
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear it to school tomorrow and be like, "What's up, kid?"
I love that so much.
And in first place, this man endured it all tonight, and congratulations, and there you go. Well done.
Well, a new wrinkle here, the accountability chain for the runner-up.
Yeah, it's the second place accountability chain for sure. Yeah, so we get another new prize that everyone can win and take home. So Beth Jen will be taking that home and displaying it proudly, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's nice. She's not walking out of here empty-handed because she made an incredible run. She really played well throughout this tournament, having to win time and time again in the B bracket just to get to the championship. Let's throw it down to an interview with Beth Jen on her incredible run this season.
It feels amazing. I knew coming in, being seeded 1, that there was a good chance that I could make the final, but ultimately seeding doesn't really matter. Early in the night when I lost to Michelle in 2, that was great for her. She threw fantastic in that match, but I really had to regroup and remind myself that I'm an excellent thrower at this point. I've been throwing now for 5 seasons, and that I can do it. And it's just one match. Things didn't go my way, but then I still had more matches coming up. And so I think just remembering that throughout every match that I play, and knowing that if one throw goes bad, I just need to turn it around on the next throw. Yeah, I definitely was not having a good night throwing, and so it was important for me to try and get that first game out of 3, because I knew if I could get the first game, if I wasn't throwing well in the second, I could kind of use that to regroup, and then I had still had that third game. So I tried to always take the first game, and if I didn't, then I really had to kind of lock down and zone in on what I was doing. But I think when you get to the B bracket towards the end and you're playing match after match after match, to stay in it. I think, having some of those early struggles in the night helped me kind of keep going through those and just knowing that I could continue through and win each of those matches. And so to actually make it to the final and to play against Eric was really special.
Beth Jen, gracious as always as she finishes runner-up. Let's throw it down to an interview now with Eric the Scope Shizzle about becoming a champion once again.
Feels pretty great, honestly. We had a great night, a lot of fun, a lot of food to be had, a lot of laughs. It was so much fun to throw with everyone here. There was a way that the bracket was set, the way that the World Axe Throwing Leagues put together the wins, losses, the points, that kind of thing, and matches up everybody evenly. I saw a lot of really great, really close matches, some sudden deaths. I saw a couple of unicorns out there that were pretty great too as well. And then, of course, I didn't have it easy on the way up. No way. I had some pretty great games too that were close as well. And I could have easily just as much ended up down to the bottom of the pile too. So a lot of practice. I've been putting a lot of practice in. So we're going to see Friday in 2 days from now. 2023 champion Pro-Am championship going on up at Appleton, Wisconsin. So I've been nose to the grindstone, just practicing day in, day out. So that's where we're coming from. So well deserved, I think so. I worked my butt off for it. It was great.
Congrats to Eric the Scope Shizzle, our Battle Axe champion. For Bobby the Blade, I'm Joey Danya. Thanks so much for watching Battle Axe. We'll see you here again next season on MC22.